Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to win your gunfights more efficiently. We're going to be breaking down a recent match that I had with my quad, going over the mistakes that we make as well as the good thing. And this video primarily is going to be talking about survivability mid gunfight. The ending of this game is absolutely wild. We do lose the game, but a lot of lessons in this video, which is why we're posting it. If you guys do enjoy the tips and tricks, the breakdowns, or just the trolling of the randoms we spectate, make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe today. This is the #1 Urzikstan coaching channel on YouTube. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and make you guys better at Warzone. All right, so this video we'll be going into depth with every single thing we do, from where we land to how we rotate, and also, of course, going extremely in depth with gunfights. A lot of you guys get in gunfights and you just stand still and pray to God that your aim can outplay the enemy. Win for the most part. That just ain't gonna cut it. I do not include my vocal comms, nor do I include my teammates, just because all 4 of us are streaming, so we're just trying to entertain at this point, and there's just a lot of nonsense and ramble going on, just kind of like I'm doing right now. So right this second, we're diving in, grabbing the most wanted bounty. You guys know about this tactic. This is nothing new, but something you're not aware of is if you guys don't think you can handle a 4v4, do not land for a most wanted. I want to encourage you guys to always hot drop, and this is one of the ways to do so. But if you guys are just constantly landing and dying and you're trying to go for wins, maybe you should just change your strategies. A lot of other great things to do out there. You can just loot some compounds like this, get your money basically just as fast. I don't see why you can't just loot buildings and not get it within 4 minutes, or you could do the scav. Okay, so we skipped a lot of the match because our teammate expelled, DC'd. It's unfortunate, but it's Warzone, it is what it is. And now we have enemies behind us landing on the outskirts. Now, normally this is where I'm like, don't land on the edge, but our loadout was here, so their loadout clearly is also here. And whenever you have a position like this, AKA the enemy landing in a lower area, you want to go ahead and push on that. Now you need to be paying attention to the mini map, because this is exactly what I'm doing right now. We have 2 enemies behind us that could always converge on us, and it looks like Blue's kind of contesting that by himself. We have a guy floating above us, and then of course the guy we just cracked. So I want to go ahead and worry about the guy we just cracked, and then his boyfriend comes in as well, and we get another down. And again, we just keep your eyes. When you guys push another fight and you're between 2 teams, always be checking the mini map to make sure these guys aren't coming up behind you. Luckily, we have UAV, and even if you don't, again, watch the mini map, just because you never know who's gonna pop up because they're not suppressed. So we got the knock, and we went ahead. So we got the knock, and of course, the first guy I cracked, Expel's able to kill up. So now this team fight is won. Now again, Blue is up here by himself. We need to hurry up and get to our teammate. This is just a little miscommunication between the squad. We all need to be sitting together, or at least splitting together, meaning me and Pink go together, and then Blue and Green go together. But we're a little bit separated. So at this point here, we need to step up our game and try to get to our boy Blue real quick. That way we can help him out, because he's probably going to go down. And there it is. And again, no matter how good you think you are, it's quads. And playing as a team and dying as a team is very, very common. But if you're playing separated, most of the time you're going to get clapped. Now, rewinding real quick, guys, I do want to point out that when you guys are landing on the edge like this, you need to scan around you. We are in the open. There are 4 of us. One of my teammates is literally in the middle of the street. This guy decides to land here anyway. Now, there are 2 of them, but there are 4 of us. So if one of these enemies would have just opened their eyes and looked around before they just full sent to the train, guess what? They'd probably still be alive, because they could have went somewhere else. So many times you guys will just instantly land because there's something here, something there, but you need to evaluate the entire situation. I don't care if it's your loadie. I don't care if it's $30,000 worth of loot there. You guys need to be looking around before you full commit to the land. All right, so at this point, Blue's down. We are down a teammate. We don't know how many people are here. It could be a 4-man, could be multiple teams. It could be one, we're not sure, but we need to be sticking together. Green is patiently kind of pushing. He's holding a little bit, allowing us to kind of catch up with him. Rara loses his Gulag because that's what he loves doing. Again, I'm looking to the side because I just want to make sure no one's going to be sending us and no one's going to be out in the open. It's an easy kill. If you are enjoying the video up to this point, please consider subscribing to the channel and also drop a like on this video. We're trying to get this video to 500 likes, and I would really appreciate if you guys just tap that thumbs up for literally free. Come on, what are you doing? Instantly calling a Yui because we are now on Yui, and there we go. So the reason why I look the other direction is because, again, I don't know how many people are here, and this guy's landing relatively close, and we need to rotate. So in my eyes, I think that the guy I initially looked at is part of their squad, and it kind of plays like they are. Now, it's not right up each other's ass. He's at the building complex below, but again, just pay attention to what's around you, because even after we finish killing this team, If we need to rotate out, we have to be aware with where these guys are landing. That way we can start predicting their rotation, either A, gatekeep them, or B, avoid them should we need to. And this is a simple play right here. So right now we're just pushing down. I'm not sure exactly why these guys are throwing nades up here. They get the crack, but again, they're in a bad spot. So instead of sitting here trying to throw nades or get a weird pick, they need to be thinking about how they're gonna rotate the situation. They have us on UAV. And if you guys weren't aware, the reason why we know we're on their UAV is because of the red around the mini map. It's a nice little addition they gave to us. So I'm gonna go ahead, try my best to fall back. And again, they're spamming nades and they're getting the crack, and that's cool for them. But again, it's quads, and the odds of them even knocking me is slim, but executing me on top of that, also hella slim. So Rah instantly goes down, and we have an enemy that's behind us. So now we're kind of pinched again, not really sure who's here, who's there, who's wherever. This enemy seems to be ghosted, and there she is. And again, I want you guys to notice the rotation that I did for this play. Instead of fighting the enemy from where we last saw him, because when he came in, he saw me here, he saw Pipe there, and I'm sure he saw the building's rooftop and said to himself, it's safe. So I wanted to change my position entirely, which is why I bailed from this initial fight, played up, and I worked my way around. Even with Rah going down, I know not to double back for him because we're pinched right now. So I need to take out the guy that's behind us. And again, we're not even sure if it's one guy, if it's two guys. This guy is ghosted because he's a bitch. And just like a bitch, he dies like a bitch, right? And look where he was looking. My last known position. He can't see Pink because Pink is on the other side of the tower. Me and Green are in this building, and he's looking literally the last place he saw me. Suck it. So we got one knock. We got two knocks, and that's when another enemy starts pushing up here as well. Just paying attention to the mini map. Well, this is why I start looking this direction. Again, you just want to kind of get your eyes on everything that's going on around you. So there's a certain point when you're holding angles that you need to tell yourself, do I continue to hold the angle, or do I push up to my squad member? And if this guy ends up working his way up, then I'm going to push to my squad member. Or if I start noticing him taking a lot more damage than he's dealing, I'm going to jump on him as well. And to be fair, this line of sight is not that good to help him with. I'm really just banking on the fact that the enemy might peek this, but it's very unlikely. So at this point here, I'm going to bail from that area, and I'm going to go try to get my way back to my teammate. And again, just in case. But he was able to win his fight. And even though he won his fight and didn't need my help, that's exactly what's going through my head in that situation. I'm gonna hold the angle, and if I don't see the enemy peek within a few seconds, or I think he's gonna go somewhere different, or I think my line of sight's not good enough, I'm gonna end up pushing up to my squad member to try to give him some help. You guys are snipers. You need to stop committing to just one spot and start thinking about how you're gonna flank an enemy to get a better position, how you're gonna hold a certain angle if you really don't have that good of one. And it's things like that that's gonna help you become not just a better player, but a better sniper. Because when it comes to being a sniper, guys, it's not about dropping 20, 30 kills. It's not about out-fragging your squad. It's about purely teamwork. Most of my gameplays when I'm sniping, because that's what I do, I always have the most damage on the squad. And usually, I might top frag every now and then, but I'm usually somewhere in the middle or lower tier as far as how many kills I have compared to my team. And that's not really an excuse. I'm just showing you guys, when you're a sniper, you are a support player. I need you guys to be aware of that right now. Your goal isn't to be out here like Breadman, dropping 30s and 40s with a sniper alone. Your job, especially in quads, is to be a team player. So right now we're hitting the zip religiously because we're on UAV, right? So because we're on UAV, we want to see if we can get line of sight on an enemy before we just full send somewhere. We know that we're not going to be safe for long. We know the next zone is going to shift across because we're on the very edge and there's not much here. So we're just kind of hitting the zip until we find something better. Expel is able to get eyes on an enemy, I believe. I really don't remember. Yep, there it is. Explosions going out. We're on UAV now the closer we get. So there is a fight currently taking place. Now you have a couple options on what you can do. Again, even if you're going to a fight, keep your eyes open. You're about to see why you want to scan around you, not just what you're looking at. We have smokes over here. We have explosions here. So regardless of this fight right here, there's a third team in there and there could be more. So always when you're parachuting or falling in, open your eyes, look around you. Even if you know exactly where you're going to land, keep scanning because it might change your mind. Just like here. So I notice movement and I start pinging and I tell Expel, hey, dude on the bridge. So at this point here, it kind of stops our push to the fire tower. And honestly, this would be a better building to go to because we can secure high ground, we can kill the teams, and just kind of work our way down the building, wiping out several squads. But I don't like landing into a middle of a fight, especially when there's other enemies on the outskirts. Because not only are you in a position to get third partied from the fight currently taking place, but you're going to get fourth partied by Joe Blows like this. So he jumps down. I get high alert from the right hand side, which is letting me know he's somewhere in this area. It could be by the buy, but I think he's a little bit further back. And because of Mountaineer perk, I'm able to survive this fight. And that drop, I mean. And we'll talk about perks here in a second when we have a little bit of a slowdown, because what you guys always watch in other like YouTube videos, like you got to use these perks. You got to realize certain perks are for certain play styles. And if you're not playing with that play style, the perks, the loadouts, the meta builds, the attachments you're using are probably useless. And again, when you guys are floating like this, it allows me to get the kill. Even though I missed the first shot, I'm able to hit the next two, even when he lets go of his parachute, because it's too late at that point. So guys, I'm telling you, like we were doing, we were floating high up, right? And I wasn't even in my chute. I pull my chute when I get to a certain altitude, and then what did I do? I cut that bitch, right? I don't want to stay in my chute that long. He's just floating around like he's Mary Poppins over here singing lullabies to himself, like he's some kind of Billy Badass. Bitch, this ain't Fortnite. You're going up against real men. And again, just securing it. So we have another Mary Poppins floating above. And again, I'm getting line of sight. I'm not worrying about this guy. I'm not worrying about him right now, because I want to see what Pipe's looking at. I know this guy's in the air. I know there's other people around, and I am relying on my high alert right now to make sure I don't get shot in the sides and the back. Because of my play style, high alert is very necessary. People always in my live streams like, Savage, turn off high alert, bro. Use this instead. I'm telling you right now, no. As a sniper that holds position, holds angles, and wants to watch what my teammates are doing, I can't worry about getting third party by another sniper. And also, if you're tired of getting sniped from players, just put on high alert, man. You'll be amazed. Now, I do start sniping this guy because he is going to get a different line of sight on my teammate, and I don't want him to mess with him. So even though I saw the guy running in the building in front of me, this guy broke my attention. See this guy right here? I'm more worried about him now because he's landing nearby. This guy's running away from the fight, so he's not a threat. This guy potentially is a threat, which is why I divert to that dude instead. And look, if you guys are in the market for a pro controller, make sure you guys check out AIM controllers today. You can get a massive discount on these controllers just by using code SAVAGE at checkout. This is just a little insight on decision making that I'm making mid-fight. So there are two campers under me, by the way. So I throw that nade in there because I hear footsteps. I know there's two campers under me, but I don't want to full send that. We have a buy station behind me. I have two teammates in the Gulag. My job right now is to hold this buy station and try to get my teammates back should they lose their ghoulie. At the same time, I need to keep line of sight on this fight that green was currently in place. And in this shit right here, you cannot let players do this to you. Stop it. If this man were to move 4 feet backwards and play the wall, the moment he sees a glint, all he has to do is this. You know what that is? It's called a sidestep. It's weird, right? A little bit of movement. We talked about it in the intro. A lot of you guys get in gunfights. You plant your feet and you pray to God you're better than the enemy, but most of the time, you're probably not. And even though I don't get the kill, I'm still going to take the shot because my goal as a sniper, again, is for support. Wasting players' plates is a great way to be a supportive character. And again, the guys are under me right now. And my goal is to try to play this in case purple or pink loses his Gulag. That's why I'm not pushing in. I could push in and probably kill them, but it's and again, with campers, bro, you can't ever risk it. So play the situation first. And all I'm doing right now is holding, making sure I notice other enemies playing the edge. Hit marker with no plates. Come on, man. What the? All right, he goes down, and we have to wait a split second for the game to register it because it's made by devs who are terrible. And again, this is my complaint. I know I'm trying not to bitch that much about the game, but when my teammate dies, I want to be able to buy him back because while I'm trying to get the res off, my teammate gets killed by the campers below me, which is why speed is everything. Momentum is everything. And it's just like this, a little fucked up. So there's nothing I can do with Pipe right now. So I get the buy off, and then I realize to myself, well, one, I'm broke. Two, I can't buy him because he's in Gulag. So I'm kind of wasting time right here. And then Raro goes down. So look, this is what we call teamwork. If you get bought back from the Gulag, land on your squad member. Don't land where you died. We talked about this on a random spectate the other day. I'm all for you guys landing on your loadout, but make sure your team's with you. This is quads, bruh. You can't be landing by yourself trying to contest multiple enemies with whatever you come back with from heaven. This is when I realize I'm broke. I start cursing myself out for being ignorant. And again, I know there are players under me. Expel's coming up here. We need to exchange money. That way we can get another squad member up. Unfortunately, Rara's the only one who can buy back, even though he keeps full sending to his death. We do have Lodi. Look at this guy. Now, I'm always for the full send. It was one player. We know there's another one because it's not the guy I initially shot at. So there are two players. But then, as you saw, I get graced by another enemy's presence. This Fortnite jumping son of a bitch. Look at this guy. Look at him. Cutie. So I get the knock on Mr. Cutie number 1, close the door, and then re-challenge using the door to break his camera. You'll see me, I kind of look to the right there. And the reason why I look to the right real fast, right here, is because I'm trying to close the door. But I know right here that I'm probably dead. My best bet is to hopefully pray that the enemy out here is 1-y or he's cracked so I can just blow through him. I'm one tap, really relying on the fact that the enemy is 2, because even if he misses all but 1 bullet, I'm dead. So I come around the corner and instantly just get completely obliterated. And look, this is the mistake a lot of you guys make. I want you guys to notice I didn't stick it out for the execute. I want you guys to notice that right now. The guy downed is right here. And I'm not saying this out of toxicity because I'm crying that he executed me. It's just out of the fact of survival. Stop going for executes. Otherwise, you're going to be a freaking moron like your boy right here. Fabricio. Don't be like Fabrice. All right. If you're like Fabrice, you're not going to be winning many games. And I get it. It was a throw knife. It was quick. But if he would have saved that throw knife for, I don't know, my teammate Expel, or at least kind of looked around real fast, he could have, probably could have, gotten a team wipe on us. All right, so here I am in the Gulag. And Gulag strats, I mean, they're just basically the same. I like to play for audio. I'm glad they removed the lasers. I bitched about it for months. And that right there is just simple. So let's just talk about it real quick. I go here. I always play this Gulag in particular, this design. I always play middle. I listen for audio, and I go off of that. Here, Dick Farm done, push to the right-hand side. I see his laser because the game was ass, and I had lasers in here for a while. So then all I want to do is force him out of his hiding spot. I need to force this man away from his little box. So all I do right now is just throw the nade, or whatever you want to call it. And I know it's going to force the enemy to the left-hand side. And instead of me holding the angle right here, I want to hold the opposite angle, because if I'm holding it like this, the enemy comes this direction. He's not running towards me. He's running away from me. So I have a split second to get my shots off right here. But if I throw the nade and challenge from the exact same angle, look at this. Now he's running at me. Now I have more than just a small window to actually get the kill. And again, dude, when you're using movement, you don't want to be jumping towards the enemy as he's shooting you. You want to be jumping away from the enemy as he's shooting you. All right, so right here, guys, look, I see it a lot when we spectate randoms. The only reason I'm bringing it up, a lot of you guys right now are probably like, dumb, but trust me, I spectate a lot of motherfuckers that should be doing duh things, and they don't. So right now, our loadout's in the gas. We are still good enough to be able to get loady and get safe. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. Now, we have a buy station next to me, fortunately, so I'm gonna do a little bit better than this. And the reason why I bought my gas mask is because when I walked up to the loadout, I grabbed the nade instead. There's loot on the ground. The game can't figure it out. So I know I need a little bit extra time. So I just bought a gas mask, and it's as simple as that. Now, what I should have done, to be fair, looking back, was buy some plates. Also, again, just making decisions on the fly. Go to the buy station, get a gas mask. Maybe if you need to buy a plate box, get that as well. Buy a teammate back, things like that. We watch a lot of guys in game. They got a buy station right next to them in the gas, but they're too afraid to go because they don't want to die. Especially if you have smoke, smoke it out, go in there, buy the tools you need to win the game. Now, I tell you guys all the time, playing the edge of gas is dangerous, and it is. You guys will see why in a little bit here. But we have other players doing it, and because we're better than they are, we're going to clean them up. If you're playing the edge of the gas and you're not holding and gatekeeping another team, you will probably lose most of the games. And the reason being because the edge of the gas is where people go to hunt. People know that bots and lower tier players always play the edge because they're scared or they don't know what to do. So they just let the gas kind of tap them on the booty and push them where they need to go. So this guy right here as well, same situation. He's tunnel vision on blue right now. He's getting that hit, but you need to be watching the whole hill. This is quads, and these guys are playing like it's solos. And I get the crack, and this man's still committed, still shooting his gun just so he can die, just so he can get a knock. Play your life, bail out, replay, change position. He was clearly by himself, So just reposition, play your life, go away, take the zip, go to a buy station, buy your team back. A lot of times you guys are trying to get that kill and you're dying for it, when in reality, you need to be running for your damn life and prolonging your gameplay. Also, again, just pay attention how fast we loot through here. All right, sniper tracer as well coming through. I don't know if it's from the right or the left, but I'm going to assume it's the right, because who the hell would snipe over here? And now we need to push across. Now, this is a rough push, brother. It's going to be a hard one, no matter who you are. What do? You take the zip right here. You're damn right. All right, so we're in conversation right now, and Pipe jumps off, and he's just going to swim across. Very, very dangerous play. Very dangerous play. Because, again, what do we talk about most of this video? When you guys take zips, it gives you the ability to look around and see what you're about to land on or what you're about to participate in. If you're swimming up to something, you're gonna have no idea unless they just happen to be shooting another team, or if they just happen to be standing in the open. So swimming across this zone right here is a wild play, and I almost fell for it, and then I was like, nah, F this, bro. Let's take the zip. And that's exactly what we do. This just didn't seem like a good idea. And even though they had the zip, again, I want the elevation. I want the height. I want to be able to see what's going on. Now, I told you guys the ending of this video is absolutely wild. Now, you're not going to be let down. So if you stay up to this point, you're in for a treat. I play my ass off. Get ready for this. So we have smoke grenades going out. We have several teams in this area, but we don't know it at the time. Now, if you guys are familiar with Warzone, what do you think's in this building right now? Oh, wait, plot twist. There he is. That's right, a team of campers. Duh. People love to sit still just to let me fist them. Dude, I love it. I love killing campers. They're so funny. Taking the attempted sniper shot, I always like going for those. Sometimes I hit them, sometimes I don't, but sometimes you will surprise yourself. So go for shit like that. So here I threw a smoke inside. Why did I throw a smoke inside? Well, it does two things. One, it prevents the enemies from basically just shooting and executing my teammate. They could throw a nade, they could. So it's always a possibility, but it does prevent them from being able to see and just be able to shoot. Two, it might force one of them out if he gets a little froggy, so I can fuck him up too. There's the double nade, and my teammate does go down, unfortunately. And again, I knew nades were an option, but I'm more or less just worried about the gunfire. So I hear footsteps below me. I jump off backwards, and I try to push this. That's my teammate, unfortunately. I'm not always perfect. Again, I always talk about smoke grenades and how important they are. And as a sniper on a quad team, you'd better be running smokes. If any of you snipers are out there running some dumbass decoys or some other stupid ass tactical, you need to stop it. Your job is to be the anchor of the team. Your job is to get the knocks so you can push, to get the suppression on enemies that are knocking your teammates, and to also get the reses off. If you guys watch my live streams, I'm a resin demon. It's what I do. I'm good at it. And smokes just help me do that. So right at this point, the enemies clearly have ammunition because they're spamming nades downstairs like it's no one's business. And we talk about all the time, play style, match your devices, match your perks, match your metas with your play styles. I'm using a Simtex. These guys are using nades. If they were using Simtex, this play wouldn't work because it would stick to the wall. But they're clearly campers. It's clearly all they do because they have the nades to be able to bounce off and come downstairs and fuck me up. And look, you have to have communication with your squad. My teammate Rara decides to full send this team sitting upstairs by his lonesome with no plates when I'm sitting on 16. I know he doesn't have plates. I see it, but I can't be like in the middle of a gunfight, be like, hey bro, you good? You got plates? He needs to have those things or communicate to me before he sends that, hey bro, I ain't got no fucking plates. Help me out. And then we can do that. So as a team player, play for your team by letting them know you need shit. We see it a lot in random gameplay. Players just full sending like this and they go down. And again, you're playing as a squad, so it could put you in a very, very unfortunate position. Again, another situation, a player going for an execute instead of playing his life. Very common trend. Now, if the knock would have been inside and he just slid in and got it real quick and then kept moving, that's fine. But the execute put him in a position to get fucked up by Martha Stewart, which is what I named my shotgun. Like that, see? Quick, and then I'm in. Doesn't affect my gameplay, doesn't put me vulnerable, none of that. Shotguns are great for that, but if you're sitting there spraying and praying, whatever the hell it is, you're a little fucked up. It's kind of the equivalent of having throwing knives. And then you have this guy here too, same situation. There's a lot of loot. And the reason why you see me moving in and out of this entire fight is because not only am I getting kills, but I'm racking up on plates. Even though I'm cracked, I picked up more. Now I got 18 of these bitches. There's a lot of plates outside that I physically can't pick up because my inventory is full, but he could have. If he would have just jumped out the window when I came upstairs instead of challenging, wrapped around and played it up, this fight might have been a little bit different.
Shotgun.
He's about to call me a shotgun pussy. Yeah, the difference is the auto shotgun's definitely pussy. This shotgun requires skill, accuracy, and aim to be able to shoot. And if you guys disagree, I want to see your gameplay with one. So again, when a fight's over and you don't hear audio and there's no gunfire around you, breathe, pull up your map, see what the circle looks like, refamiliarize yourself with where the zone's gonna go so you can start planning the rotation. Now, unfortunately, there's still 15 seconds left, but I kind of want to get eyes on what's going on. And right there, I was looking at the buy stations and kind of seeing, okay, there's a team there for sure because there's 2 portables. I hear footsteps to the left-hand side. He hears me. He's still outside. And again, this is a play they don't expect. If I would have peeked to shoot him, he would have had the drop on me. But because I jumped off, he's holding the angle. He couldn't even track it because most players' aiming and ADS speeds are completely out of whack because they're trying to copy somebody they follow, when in reality, y'all need to be tuning your own shit. So again, another team coming in. Same situation. Just simply getting... Okay, smoke plays is not just for reses, it's to survive. I want you guys to see how I'm getting shot from the right-hand side and the guy in front of me. But I'm using the smoke as concealment to hopefully get some plates off so that I can further play my life. And there goes another one. Again, using movement to avoid his tracers. But I want you guys to notice, even though I'm suppressed, even though there's 2 enemies shooting at me right now and I have no idea what's around me, I'm still out here looking, trying to get some picks, trying to see the enemies. Because you never know you have the capability of killing. And if you hide in the building instead of peeking like this, you could have missed that on that guy. So again, we brought a lot of attention to ourselves. We fought 4 teams in this one area, and I got, I think, 5 of the kills on those guys. I was getting high alert from this area, so I know that enemies are over here. And right now I'm thinking about this. I know that there's probably a guy in this building because it's one of the last buildings in the zone, and that he's probably just sitting there chilling. So I'm analyzing this right now because I need to push out. I need to leave my little safety net to go over here. And I don't have smoke grenades right now, so I'm trying to wait for my restock to engage so that I can smoke out and play it. Again, the guy that was high alert me in the middle of that last fight is now trying to suppress me. So I go ahead and blow his head off. Played up as I move. High alert going from the left-hand side. Again, look at the delay in the gunfire. This man literally was looking at me, and it took him probably, I'd say, 2 seconds before he actually pulled the trigger. Watch. High alert. And that's just reaction time. When you guys have slow reaction time, it just means you don't get enough gunfights, and that's why. So the enemy's above me. I should have been looking at the minimap. I didn't, and it cost me an easy kill, unfortunately. So at this point here, again, we've got enemies behind me. I've got a lot going on around me. I see the enemy bust up the right-hand side, but I really didn't want to challenge. And then I do right here. And unfortunately, because these guys on the rooftop that have been looking at me this whole time are shooting at me, even though I could have gotten this kill, I probably would have. I end up losing this fight because, again, of this team holding this building. What should I have done differently? Well, one, again, let's rewind a little bit and let's talk about the mistake I made. Again, if I would have paid attention to the minimap right here, I would have known he was on top and I could have shot him as he was parachuting off. But because I didn't, he's now on my rooftop. You see his shadow? He's now on my rooftop. So it kind of ruins the option of me taking this ladder. And I see this right now, and that's when it hits the realization that I fucked up. So if I was able to hold this ladder, I would be able to, again, challenge these guys and kind of go prone behind it or jump off if I have to while fighting these guys. But again, this mistake was pretty costly. And at the end of the day as well, even with that fight taking place the way it did, to be fair, the best rotation would have been back down to the parking lot, playing this as cover, and then eventually playing the rocks. That probably would have been the best way to do this entire fight. It still isn't the best position because the guys up here would have the better cover, clearly. But the position I'm in right now, jumping out here to challenge when I know there's people in these buildings, was a wild notion to begin with. I saw the guy run out the door to the right-hand side. I got super excited. And because I was feeling myself, decided I think I could get the kill. And in reality, I could have, but the guys that were shooting at him ended up shooting at me. And even though the guy was cracked after 1, I lost the fight.